Once upon a time, in a village nestled near a lush forest, lived a sweet little girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She was known for her kind heart and, of course, her beautiful red velvet hooded cloak. This cloak was a gift from her loving grandmother, a gift Little Red Riding Hood cherished dearly. One sunny morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother called her, "Sweetheart, your grandmother isn't feeling well. Please take her this basket of treats and check on her." "Of course, Mamma," Little Red Riding Hood replied, her eyes sparkling with concern. She promised her mother she would stay on the path through the woods, took the basket filled with goodies and skipped off towards her grandmother's house. As Little Red Riding Hood ventured deeper into the woods, the trees grew taller, casting long shadows on the path. The sunlight filtering through the leaves created dancing patterns on the ground. She hummed a cheerful tune, her red cloak a vibrant splash of color against the green backdrop. The woods were alive with the sounds of nature. Birds chirped sweetly, squirrels chattered from the treetops, and the wind rustled the leaves. Little Red Riding Hood, lost in her thoughts, continued her journey, her little red boots crunching on the path. Suddenly a pair of piercing yellow eyes glinted from the bushes, and a low growl sent shivers down Little Red Riding Hood's spine. A large wolf emerged from the undergrowth, blocking her path. His sharp teeth were bared in a menacing grin. Little Red Riding Hood's heart pounded in her chest. She had never seen such a creature before. "What do you want?" she stammered, clutching her basket tightly. The wolf, surprised that this little girl wasn't afraid, decided to play a trick. Well, what do we have here? A little girl going to visit her granny. How sweet." The wolf, hiding his wicked intentions behind a charming smile, suggested, "Why don't you pick some wildflowers for your grandmother? It's such a lovely day, and she would love a fresh bouquet." Little Red Riding Hood, innocent and trusting, thought this was a wonderful idea. She had completely forgotten her mother's warning about talking to strangers. She wandered off the path, collecting the prettiest wildflowers she could find. Meanwhile, the cunning wolf, seeing his chance, dashed towards grandmother's house. He had a wicked plan brewing in his mind. He would reach the cottage before Little Red Riding Hood and trick his way inside. Section 4. The Wolf's Deception and Little Red Riding Hood's Arrival. The wolf reached grandmother's house, and with a few forceful knocks the door creaked open. Grandmother, being frail, had left it unlocked. The wolf in a flash entered the house and gobbled up poor, unsuspecting grandmother. He then disguised himself as grandmother by putting on her nightgown and sleeping cap. He climbed into bed, chuckling to himself, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood to arrive. Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood, her basket overflowing with colourful wildflowers, finally reached her grandmother's cottage. She was oblivious to the danger lurking within. She knocked gently on the door, and a gruff voice, mimicking her grandmother's, called out, "Come in, dear." Little Red Riding Hood entered the dimly lit cottage. Her grandmother was already tucked in bed, her face barely visible under the sleeping cap. "Oh, Granny," she exclaimed, "what big eyes you have! All the better to see you with, my dear," the wolf rasped, trying his best to sound sweet. Concerned, Little Red Riding Hood moved closer. "And Granny, what big ears you have!" she exclaimed, her unease growing. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf chuckled. Little Red Riding Hood took another step closer. "But Granny," she whispered, her voice trembling slightly, "what big teeth you have!" The wolf threw off the covers and roared, "All the better to eat you with." Just as the wolf lunged at Little Red Riding Hood, the door burst open. A kind huntsman, who had been passing by and heard the commotion, rushed into the cottage. He was shocked by the sight before him. The huntsman, without hesitation, raised his axe and brought it down on the wicked wolf. The wolf let out a yelp, and out popped grandmother unharmed. She had been hiding in a cupboard, terrified but alive. The huntsman, Little Red Riding Hood, and grandmother filled the wolf's belly with heavy stones and tossed him down the well. Without the wolf's wickedness, the forest was peaceful once again. Little Red Riding Hood, safe in her grandmother's arms, had learned a valuable lesson that day. She realized the importance of listening to her mother and the danger of talking to strangers. As they all enjoyed the delicious treats from the basket, Little Red Riding Hood promised her grandmother and the kind huntsman that she would never stray from the path again. she would always be cautious and remember this adventure. And so, Little Red Riding Hood continued to visit her grandmother, always staying on the path, her bright red cloak a beacon of caution, and a reminder of the day she learned the importance of listening to her elders and being aware of her surroundings.